Let's rock and roll, boys.
Hello and welcome to another Nintendo podcast. I am your host, Austin Cummings, and I am joined today by Matt Schultz.
Hi!
And Danny Tortelli.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Welcome.
Oh, wow.
Welcome to 2019, year of, I believe, is Year of the Pig. And welcome to another Nintendo podcast where we maybe incorrectly cite the Chinese zodiac animal. In any event, welcome here. And we have some exciting news to talk about today and maybe some less exciting news too, but we're just happy to have you along for the ride. So, boys, should we start off with our usual segment? One, Matt, what do you call it?
Big out in the news! Nice spike.
There it is. All right, very good. Okay, so both of you. It's a new year, and it's new us, or same us. It's just us. It's ANP. Take it as you like it. 4 reviews on iTunes. Please get on there, family. But we want to talk to you all. And this is a time of the year where a lot of people set resolutions for themselves, set resolutions secretly for their peers, for others, things they'd like to see their friends improve. At least that's a tradition that I take part in. But I want to know from the both of you, let's take a look back as a way to kind of look forward. So let's kick it off with, what is a game maybe both of you enjoyed over the holiday break? Tell me a little bit about it.
Here we go! Danny.
Oh, man. Well, of course, I was home with the fam and Mario Kart again.
Oh,
such a
Mario
classic.
Kart.
Still serves well, still holds up. And I got a new little toy for the crowd to see.
Ooh, flying
It's an
by.
8-bit
Wow.
SN30 Pro Game Boy Edition.
Hashtag ad, but we do
Right,
like it.
right.
How's it been
Thank
treating
you.
you?
If you're listening, it looks like an SNES controller with 2 joysticks.
It
But
does.
it has the coloration of a Game Boy, so it's just it's really a Frankenstein's
Yeah.
monster of beautiful nostalgia.
It's
so-
really... It's great. I mean, it's super portable, and it syncs in as a Pro Controller. It has all the functions. As you can see, it has shoulder buttons on each side, has the joysticks, has all the buttons,
That's real
motion
nice.
controls, has basic rumble.
USB-C charging, I see there.
USB-C, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
So in a pinch, it's great for something like you're just going on the road. You don't want to pack your big Pro Controller. You're worried about it like getting thrown around in the bag. You just need an extra controller for something like Mario Kart, which is exactly what my family did. No more just 3 screens and the 4th sad screen. Everyone got to join in. So yeah, Mario Kart was definitely the game of choice for the holidays.
I like that. I like the advertised extra portability of this slightly thinner controller because you know me, fans know me. I'm a big cargo pants kind of guy, and so I like to envision myself walking outside, hot summer day or even just a cold winter night, cargo shorts on, bigger pouches, Pro Controllers. Other side, shorter ones. Maybe slipping one of those in there just in case. You know, I find myself on a rooftop party and I got to break out the Nintendo Switch. Matt, did you have any? What was kind of a highlight game for you these past few
Typically,
weeks?
Austin's the one that's not at the rooftop party. We have to call him over from the other rooftop.
Right, exactly. But he's
Is
excited to
that
be
Austin
invited.
over there? That's
Hey,
Austin.
oh, should I bring this? I'm
Is
already.
that Austin in the really swanky apartment?
Absolutely not. I live at home. You can see it now. Matt, what'd you play?
Yeah, played a lot of Mario Party. This was the perfect opportunity to do that. I was with several different families. I saw Danny Tortelli's family. I was with my girlfriend's family, with another buddy of mine's family, and with all of those, not all of them, I didn't play with your parents, Danny, but with most all of them, I played some form of Mario Party, one of the various modes.
Kind of a Matt Schultz 3 houses you had going on there. Kind of just 3
it was
different factions.
Yeah, I can't wait for Fire Emblem. Maybe this spring. I don't know. We'll see.
Who's to say?
Yeah, no, it was a long, relaxing break, and I basically kind of was playing a little bit of Into the Breach and then a lot of Mario Party. And I'm still missing 1 gem, so I don't have whatever it is that unlocks after all those gems.
Right. Maybe it's bugged. There's no final gem. Well, for myself, I think myself, like probably a lot of both you and viewers, Played a lot of Smash, and I had a nice time playing with Andrew. Can't be on the podcast tonight, but we'll do another one later. And just other groups of friends who are in from kind of high school friends. I'm in the hometown now, so everyone's back to be with family. And so there were good opportunities there to do larger player Smash, but honestly, even just some Smash online, which for the most part has worked like decently. You know, there is lag, certainly will come in really heavily for 10 seconds in a match, and then for the most part, it's fine besides that. But playing a lot of that. Also been playing some of Gris, I believe is what we're landing on the pronunciation.
For the sexually explicit content in the trailer.
This is so. Here's the thing about pronouncing it. I'm pretty sure it's Gris, but I'm going to feel poorly if it's. So it's a Spanish studio, and it's the word for gray. So we'll get a fact checkers on there, or maybe our friends over,
Gris.
maybe our Latin American fans. Yeah, maybe Gris. In any event, really. I've been enjoying that. I haven't put a ton of time into it. It's very similar to Journey. Those are the vibes I've gotten. So I've enjoyed it like for 30 minutes at a time in bed. So that's been just a pleasant
aesthetically or just like all around like the
kind of
music
piece. It's just like there is no dialogue, and it's just you doing very basic platforming and very basic puzzle solving. But as you move through, just like in Journey, as you kind of go area to area, there's environmental changes that kind of express the mood of Journey. It's all kind of culminating in the mountain and cold. And in this game, it is as you go through, you unlock different colors that you're kind of reclaiming. It seems to be about, but you guys can play it for yourself and kind of get your own reactions from it. But in any event, I've been enjoying that kind of as a more mellow game.
So more like a Mario Color Splash, right?
It's very similar mood piece to Mario Color Splash on the Wii U, which was an emotional game I know for all of us and Mario fans everywhere. Still recovering from Sticker Star. Maybe not everyone picked up Color Splash. Actually, I was thinking about Color Splash though the other day, which I do
on
most
Switch?
Days. And I was thinking like I would play it on Switch because I did not play it on Wii U.
No, I didn't buy it on Wii U. I heard a lot of people were very excited about the dialogue and the humor in the game, and also it looks beautiful. Anyways, quick sidebar, that game would be awesome to see. And would not be surprised if that shows up in 2019.
I know, it would be. It was a game that, like, so far, the remasters have been things that have pretty well critically received, But I do feel like in the case of Color Splash, that would be a little bit of an exception. But I do think it would be, a worthy game to end up on the Switch. Okay.
Definitely.
So, and I do want to kind of hop back. Gris is how we're going to say the name of that game.
Gris.
Okay. And let's go on to one more topic about 2018. As you guys look back on the year, and you're kind of making a better version of yourself for next year, or just the same perfect version you both already are, and don't change a thing.
Just more of the same.
More of the same. 2019,
Hashtag
baby.
be more like Danny.
All the great. That's what that's the theme of the pod, Danny. Thanks. Thank you for gracing us. For 2018, when you look back, what's the big standout game that maybe you bought, maybe you passed on, that you kind of wish you'd spent just a little more quality time with? Or none, or you did it perfectly and there isn't anything. Do either of you have any thoughts? Because I know for myself, I'm going to hop in and say Starlink, Battle for Atlas, which is a game that Matt and I enjoyed talking about. I love that Fox, but I've played probably a good 3 hours of that game, haven't gone back. And I like to see it through, especially as now with Ultimate, I'm playing as Wolf. I'm getting Crystal Assist trophies. I don't believe she's in Starlink, but I'm going to find out. And also, I was also thinking of this, Danny, something we need to do immediately, not this episode, but I think separate episode, we need to start doing like the Crystal Report, where like maybe not weekly, but maybe, and just do a check-in, like how's she doing, what's she up to, and then kind of what our thoughts are. Like, are we going to see her in 2019? Are we going to see her have a cameo appearance in Fire Emblem 3 Houses?
Crystal,
like,
I'm feeling it.
I think that would
She'll
be valuable
voice
content.
the segment intro. It'll be her talking in that foreign language from the beginning of Star Fox Adventures. Oh, it's not cool, and you're like,
It'll
what?
be Wapatibo solo.
Are you having a stroke right now?
I do. It will also be it'll be her like a Star Fox Adventure language for Let's Rock and Roll, maybe girls. Whatever the translation is for that. I'm sure we can cut it up.
Right.
So, do either of you have a game you want to get back to in 2019 that you missed in 18?
So, we're gonna continue on the Link Bros right now because as our similar kind of option right now. I passed on Starlink in 2018, but as of 24 hours ago, I downloaded it, and it's been my new game for 2019.
Excellent.
Oh, got in on that digital sale, Nintendo eShop sale?
It was clutch. The regular edition, not the deluxe, was on sale for $30. It had been for like this past week, and I was even talking to Matthew Schultz. And last night, I was like, oh, I guess I'll finally buy it. And good thing I did. I checked this morning, back up to $60.
Awesome. Well done.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well, we should also talk about Starlink in future episodes. Maybe when we could all play it in kind of game club.
Yeah, we definitely should. I actually the other night Danny was over, and I kind of gave him. I was like, hey, you should really think about this, and I let him play the game for a bit, and I was like, oh my gosh. So yes, that is one of the games that I definitely want to get on. But for me, I'm disappointed in myself because I haven't beaten Odyssey. I've said on this podcast several times.
You can't keep saying this on the podcast.
I have to.
Drop it right
I
off.
have to. This is a real, authentic, average Nintendo podcast, people. Look, there are fans out there
Right now.
who have probably not beaten Breath of the Wild, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We love you all the same. We will keep you around.
As
and
always,
actually,
Matt is right.
For good reason. There are a lot of people who probably postponed Breath of the Wild, but for me, the reason I postponed Odyssey was because of that game. I spent way too much time, 300 plus hours in that world, and I could not jump into another open world game as much as Mario just seems so enticing. So over the past, probably a month, I've between holiday parties and traveling and all that, I've been playing a little bit more, and it's definitely the game I'm going to spend a lot of time in the next couple of months beating. So I'm excited about that. However, disappointed in myself. 28.
Well,
No, you got on the bench, you got your water break, now you're back in the game.
Ready. Yeah.
New you, buddy. You got this one. All right, well, thanks for that little recap. Let's go right on to the news. I'm going to hit us with kind of our only news story of the week.
Oh.
A little quiet as we're starting it. I'm going to read it off, and then I'm going to look for both of your reactions. So the story is, this is as reported by IGN, which is reporting a story from other outlets, but basically the title is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC roster reportedly leaked. And the crux of it is, as reported by Gear Nuke, this unconfirmed rumor comes from a Japanese forum site, 5channel, user Mr. Anonymous, Desperate, which is a trusted source, I'm sure. So this individual has written, this user claims that the 4 remaining fighters coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate are Erdrick from the Dragon Quest series,
Ryu,
Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden, Steve, the default player in Minecraft, and Doom Guy, aka the Marine, from the Doom series. Yeah. So those are all, iconic characters. I think even
his
people
name is Doom Guy?
Doom Guy, yeah, that's kind of the name he's adopted. Like there is not a lot of backstory for the character, but as far as the Doom character, like in the Doom comic that came out back when the original games came out, where he'd kind of rip and tear, like everything that Doom Guy has ever done is like kind of in the meme category of as far as like any substantial lore for him. It's all kind of based on in-jokes, and one of which that is stuck is that he's just Doom Guy because he's kind of a personality-less. And so furthermore, the same user had previously leaked details pertaining to Joker, as well as his stage, and then the leak gained traction due to his referencing Persona 5U, an alleged fighting game, being delayed due to the release of Arc System Works' Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, a fighting game that was announced a few days after the leak was posted. And then the thing that kind of supports the Erdrick claim, so the Dragon Quest character, which we've talked about previously on the show, is that, as reported by Polygon, there was a datamine leak. I'm kind of paraphrasing now, but check out the article on IGN if you want to see it yourself. But there's a datamine leak of Smash Bros. And in the source code, there were 3 code names: Jack, Paku, and Brave. And Paku is a likely reference to Pakun Flower, which is apparently the Japanese name for piranha plant. Jack, people have now assumed, is the code name for Joker from Persona 5. Jack Frost is an encounterable enemy and kind of the one of Personas in the series. It's a recurrent character, is often with the Atlas kind of logo.
So the code itself is using code names for this?
So the code itself is using code names. They're doubling down on code. And I'm not sure about this myself.
Easter eggy code names.
But as said on it, Game Explained podcast, which seemed to make sense to me, which is that, often this code, even though it is a Japanese developed game, the code uses short English terms since it is easier to code with than perhaps Japanese characters, was something that they had said. I don't know the validity of that, but it makes sense to me because the code does seem to be in English. And for like Jack, for instance, some of the data mining had like information about the character's weight, class, and speed. And that seemed to track with the kind of agility and mobility of that Joker character. So in any event, the outstanding one of those three names is Brave. And Brave is a rough translation of the Japanese word for hero, and in each Dragon Quest game, all of them, the default name for the main character is hero. So that was the thought. Erdrick is the hero, if you were to name your character Erdrick, or Lodo for Japan, in Dragon Quest III, and he is kind of the hero of time equivalent of like the first three Dragon Quest games, which are technically a loose trilogy, but he is like the recurrent, like, the great hero, kind of like in Wind Waker, the reverence for the hero of time from Ocarina of Time. In any event, and so the leak kind of goes on, but what I want to do to talk to both of you about it is, first of all, do we think the Dragon Quest thing is legit? So let's give it a yay or a nay. So Danny?
I'm going nay. This makes me think of, remember we had those leaks?
The Grinch leak, yes.
About, there was that like marketing advertising agency, I think in France, that was like, oh, we helped them put Banjo in and also helped them take it out before, the DLC announcement. And they're like, we even fired the guy for letting the leak out, and then no Banjo. So I'm like,
but that guy is fired.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Right. We have been fooled before.
That was a real leak, yeah.
Right.
So I got nothing.
Yeah, okay, Matt?
Well, isn't Dragon Quest coming to Switch?
Yeah, so Dragon Quest 11, which is, again, came out on PlayStation and PC, came out on earlier this year in the United States and last year in Japan. And there's a game that's already been announced, and there was footage shown at Jump Fiesta on December, I think, 22nd. For the Switch version, which looks awesome. It looks very, very similar.
Wasn't this the first game announced on the Switch?
This was an early game, yep. This is one of the earliest ones, is Dragon Quest. And so for the NX. So it's
I'm going to
coming.
say yes.
But now
I'm going to say that's true.
There's a little question mark on a couple things. So first off, is that game going to come to America? There have been times where Dragon Quest games have not come in the past. It's very big in Japan, not as big over here. But Nintendo published the Dragon Quest games on 3DS to bring them over here. I'm sure they sold really poorly.
And this is their handheld now.
So I think that kind of tracks, but it does mean they were like not fazed by what must have been really bad sales for Dragon Quest 7 and 8 on 3DS. So,
I think with all of these, like we've said in the past, like these, I think they're going to coincide with hopefully some game releases, and they're going to be a little unorthodox in like the characters that show up. And there's going to be just a little more fanfare for each of these characters just because there's something else on Switch, an interesting partnership, or something like that. So, yeah, I definitely think that this is true. I'm actually most excited for the Minecraft person.
Well, okay, so this is kind of what I want to break down, because also Persona 5 we assume is going to come to the Switch, right? Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, but those are all in the Sony ecosystem. We've talked about Persona and the spin-offs before. But the one new wrinkle to that is Persona 5 R, which seems to be the special edition, was announced last week, but kind of teased, but only teased in context of PlayStation. So there was no mention of the Switch. So it's a little bit curious. Cloud is a character that's in Smash Bros. That really does not have a big, there's no big Cloud game that's been on a Nintendo console ever.
Right.
So it's the remaster / just like basically a port of Final Fantasy VII is coming to the Switch. He's in some Kingdom Hearts games on DS, but big picture, he doesn't have a big representation. So that could also happen for these characters. I really hope Persona 5 comes, because it seems like a perfect portable game. And we've talked about it before, so I don't need to talk about it again. But so this is what I think. I think the Erdrick Dragon Quest thing, I think it's true. And also the other thing that I'm on board for it with is that when we look at the franchises that are in Smash, big RPGs, Dragon Quest was the prototypical RPG. It adapted the Ultima Wizardry format from PC gaming, brought it to home console on the NES. It was before Final Fantasy. It has all of that. It is just an iconic RPG franchise, and Final Fantasy is already there. Now Persona is going to be there, so it seems like that is a big one to kind of finish off that kind of classic RPG trifecta. Even though Persona's not as classic, but in any event, very popular. So I think it has a place. I'm a little more skeptical about the other four. So Ryu Hayabusa, Minecraft characters. So Matt, you're thinking it's true. Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
I mean, Minecraft has been on Nintendo consoles for a while now.
Yes.
It was a little late to Nintendo consoles, but still it is. There's a lot of love between Microsoft and Nintendo over the past couple of years, and I think we still see that. I think that would be I mean, do I think it's going to happen? I mean, I don't know. I mean, can anyone really say? No, we can't. We like to speculate, though, and I want to say yes. The part of me that's like, this would be really awesome wants to say yes, because it would be really awesome to see that partnership really manifest in like put your money where your mouth is and let us put one of your flagship characters, if you can say that about, I guess you can based on sales in our huge flagship game. Also, I think that rumor also included like extra skins.
Yeah, the rumor is like maybe a Master Chief skin, which would be totally wild.
That would be a great way to get Master Chief into Smash.
That would. It's kind of like great. The Mii Fighter equivalent of like, oh, it's a Mii costume. Like, look, it's Gino. He's in it.
Yeah.
But yes, I do think it'd be funny, especially if Doom Guy's in there. Like, he's also so Master Chief-ish looking. There's such a, Space Marine stereotype.
Right.
Okay, so here, and then Danny, you still hard no. Any other thoughts, or else I'll add my final one?
I mean, I would love the Minecraft one to be true, only because that opens the door for more Microsoft Nintendo partnerships for Smash, including anything made by Rare, which Microsoft now owns.
We want the Kinect Sports characters in this game. Get me those Xbox Live avatars in Smash. I want Mii Fighters versus Xbox Live avatars. That's what I want.
That is a whole round.
That's my Mario versus Sonic. Yep. But that would be nice. There would be a nice little like show of faith in that little, olive branch or what have you. Play nice, make good.
And then we get Crystal. Anyways.
But the my only skepticism is, although I think Dragon Quest is real, Ryu Hayabusa, I just don't. Now, Ninja Gaiden on the NES had 3 games, which were great. You can play the first one on Virtual Console now, so it does seem like they're showing a little love towards it. Those are The Messenger, which was a game I really enjoyed and did 100% last year. Is
that official Virtual Console, or are you talking about Switch Online?
Like Switch Online, thank you. It's on Virtual Console of systems of old, but it is on Nintendo Switch Online service, whatever it is called officially. Something as elegant as that, I think. But the those are great games, but the incarnation of Ryu Hayabusa, as he is now, is kind of like the one that's from Ninja Gaiden Black, 2 and 3, Razor's Edge, which I did have on the Wii U, and the Dead or Alive series. I just feel like it's a little detached from the character now. I don't know. I don't feel a huge level of excitement. I love sword characters, so he's welcome in as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. That one isn't that exciting to me, and I also I don't think of him really definitively as like a Nintendo get, whereas the other ones kind of make more sense. Also, Doom Guy falls in the same camp of like, now Doom Eternal, the sequel to 2016's Doom, is coming to Switch this year, and that would be a Bethesda representation. Bethesda is not represented anywhere else in the game, so that would be neat. And kind of like you're saying, Danny, would be a good sign of like Nintendo just strengthening their relationship with Bethesda, who supported Wolfenstein and Doom already. And this would be another test of that, which is very different than how things were last gen, and that would be nice. But yeah, I if I had to rank the characters I'm most excited out of these, I would say most Erdrick, second the Minecraft characters. I think it's a big audience of people who'd probably be really excited about it. But otherwise, the other 3 are a little lower as far as, the, I guess, multiple skins, Doom Guy. And,
I guess just to close the conversation, it sounds like the person who's leaked this sounds like they have some credibility. It makes it interesting. It's juicy. I think it's fun to think about how these characters might show up, some of the reveals, and when they'll show up, especially if they coincide with certain releases that we might get on the Switch, which I certainly think is possible. But the fun thing about all of this is that no one freaking knows what they're gonna do with these. Right. And I think if Joker was, just a prime example of how these are going to be revealed, I'm really excited because that Joker one really kind of came out of nowhere, and I can see us like in random directs throughout the year just being surprised with Smash characters for the rest of the year, which is pretty cool.
That is cool. Agreed. I think that's a good perspective on it. Let's leave this topic and let's go to our bigger element of the show, being our ANP Headliner. So we'll be right back. right back right now. Thank you for staying with us or skipping to the end for this highly exciting segment. Matt and Danny, this is what I want to talk about for the ANP Headliner this week. We're looking forward. You guys had a delightful holiday-themed episode. Came out a couple weeks ago. It launched Christmas Eve.
Minutes before we got into a car and drove hours and hours.
Well, it was really quite nice. And you guys talked about your Switch report card for 2018. But now we're looking at 2019 and the big games. And you touched on them briefly in that episode. But what I want to do is, out of all the games coming out, we're not going to go over them now. I would like you each to think of your top 3 games in your mind's eye. So hold that in there, kind of in the mind stone, if you will. Unlink it.
Too soon, man.
Unlink it. Listen, it's unlink the time stone and the mind stone. R.I.P. Vision. But taken too soon or not. Maybe we'll be back with Sherry. Thanks for tuning in to our MCU expanded
our AMP
ANP MCU DCEU. Let's talk about the top 3 games you have for next year that are on your list. So let's go through our number 3, our least anticipated of the most anticipated games, and let's go one at a time. So Matt, would you care to kick us off?
Least anticipated, but of my most anticipated would be Yoshi's Crafted World. Yeah. No explanation, really just throwing it out there, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. You're welcome to expand, or we can just leave it.
Cool. So recently, been playing with my girlfriend who currently owns my Wii U at her apartment. Mm-hmm. One of the several downloaded games on that, which was Yoshi's Woolly World, which was a really good game. But playing through it with her and seeing her play through it has just kind of really gotten me back into I don't know, just when that game came out, they did this whole fanfare around how they came up with the yarn design and the person who made the yarn Yoshi, and just how cool it was to see that development. And watching the trailers for Crafted World has gotten me really excited for just the different ways to play that game. You can play the levels backwards. You can, shoot eggs in certain directions to unveil different parts of the map. It just looks really cool, and it looks like the Paper Mario I've wanted to see on a newer console. Aesthetically specifically, but I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, that's a good breakdown. I liked Woolly World, but I did not quite finish it. And it just because the challenge is too great. ANP Confessions, and I loved Yoshi's Island. I've been in that many times, but outside of that, there has yet to be a Yoshi game that's really grabbed me again. And so I hope Crafted World is going to be it, but right now it's a little lower on my list. It kind of falls into the same camp as Kirby and Kirby Star Allies, where it's I'm sure I'll pick it up. I'll be excited to have it come out, but it's my overall hype level is just, I know it'll be a breezy experience that is just a little lower on the list there.
Okay.
But I still respect it. I think it's a great choice.
Okay, good. Thank you. As long as you respect my
I know we all need the affirmation
third
on this
choice.
podcast. And I also want to say I think it was really sweet of you to give your girlfriend the Wii U. As we all know, when you celebrate anniversaries, it's, something silver, something gold, something Wii U. So really sweet of you to kind of give
something
that to her.
that didn't sell well.
No, it's very valuable.
Lesson,
do you guys see that report about the unopened Wii U selling for thousands of dollars? It's now a collectible.
I'll give him my sealed copy of Nintendo Land, ANP Confessions. I also keep him on my cargo short pockets.
Nintendo Gold Platinum Awards.
Mm-hmm. That is precious. I have my Luigis Mansion.
We should do a show and tell episode about those.
I still have mine in boxes, so I can show and tell the box, but I would love to do that. Danny, number 3.
Number 3 of my top 3 most anticipated. I'm going with Town, the Game Freak game. I think just the curiosity and the uniqueness of having something made by Game Freak that's not not Pokemon seems it's got some allure to it. It's I want to see what you can do outside the Pokemon realm. So I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
Another nice little RPG with the Let's Go animation style. Yeah.
Visually, that game looks really cool. And I'm wondering if it's more than if there are multiple towns, or it's literally just that one town that's getting attacked by monsters, and you can build it up.
I want to say this briefly. I think a lot of people are drawing on one town. Is that going to be enough of a game? But then let's keep in mind, I'm sure somewhere on Matt's list, Animal Crossing, a game that typically has one town, is going to be featured on it. And also a game I enjoyed last year was Whatever Oasis on the 3DS.
Ever Oasis, right?
And yeah,
right.
that was also a game where you had really one town, you went on and explored and came back, but you're always building up, one community that would grow, get more resources that would let you explore further, come back, bring the things you had found,
You
get
like
new
that
resources.
game?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
How many Austin Cummings out of 10 would you give it?
Oh man, well that's a strict scale, but I would give it probably gut reaction, probably a 7. But then I liked
7.
the water girl creature, so I'm giving it an
7,
11.
Austin.
She was very nice to me, and I want to pay her that respect back at this opportunity.
Okay.
Thank you, water girl. My third game, I'm gonna go for Bayonetta 3. Now, there's a lot of games in my life right now, and I'm trying to just crank through some of them. On PlayStation, still haven't beaten Red Dead, still working through it. But so the idea, Yoshi, I think is a little bit drawback. It's like, I know it'll be a good game, but maybe definitely breezy. Bayonetta is still, I think, I like the intense challenge and the roller coaster ride of what is a shorter experience, and I really enjoy the first 2 games. So that's up there for me, assuming that it does come out. Okay, Matt, number 2.
Number 2, I was really kind of stumped between 2 specific games, but I'm gonna go with Luigi's Mansion 3. Now the trailer left much to be desired. Some people go back and forth with, it looks so good. I'm more on the it looks kind of half baked.
Looks just like the last one, yeah.
Now I'm a Dark Moon fan. Also, obviously, I love the original, but I really enjoyed Dark Moon just for what it was. It was a 3DS version of the game, and I liked it.
I think it's superior to the first.
Some people are very anti multiple mansions.
They just like that 1 3-hour Luigi's Mansion 1 experience, I guess.
Right.
They're just instead of 3 or 4 mansions in Dark Moon, where each one is as long as the full game of the first, I just want one mansion. I want to go to the second floor, and I want to go to the basement, and then I want to be done.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I want my King Boo, and that's all. No, I'm really excited because if you watch the trailer, they show at the very end of it, they show what will be hopefully the one mansion, which is a very hotel-esque looking building, very akin to the Tower of Terror at Disneyland.
I think you mean Operation Breakout or Operation Rescue Breakout, whatever the new ride is, the Guardians of the Galaxy thing that replaced it.
Oh, right. And is that both of them at both parks? At both
I think Tower of Terror is still at Disney World, but I could be wrong. But I think just
Well, no, either way, very exciting. So there are parts of the trailer that look very good. If you just are looking at the floors and some of the windows and decorations, you're like, wow, you can see how waxed the floor is. But then Luigi himself looks like he's straight out of GameCube.
Agreed. He looks really plastic. His lighting's weak.
Right, especially after seeing, and I was just commenting on this with Danny, seeing those character unlocks in Super Smash Brothers, not too long ago, I'm pretty embarrassed by this, that I recently unlocked Luigi. And
all right, well, that's going to be the end of our show.
It was yesterday.
It was a long break, guys. Anyways.
Sure.
But the detail on that image, now obviously that's not what we're going to see, but it was so... It's weird when they put too much detail into a cartoon character, but the way that they've done it in Smash is it just works so well. And I would like to see them, and especially Mario Odyssey is a good example of how Mario looks in that game. Luigi looks like he's from an entirely different era compared. So I'm hoping that looks better in the future.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what they show of that game. I'm hoping for an October 2019, I want me some
I don't understand why.
Halloween.
Just kind of pre-Thanksgiving, get the family together, spook them good.
It'll come out with, I'm sure there'll be some Luigi's Mansion costume in Odyssey or something that you can pick up.
That little dog, maybe the old dog amiibo, that little ghost dog, that little poor pooch that's life I assume was taken, but is just there to haunt and cheer.
Yes, think of the Luigi's Mansion amiibo. Oh my god, those ghosts are gonna look great. Anyways, that's my
big old baby
second
ghost. Very good. Danny, number 2.
That would be awesome.
So yeah, Luigi's Mansion was going to be in my top 3, but then once they confirmed that he did not die in that Smash trailer, I was like, I wanted this to be my Luigi's Mansion endgame. I wanted to see if he survived or not.
He's got one scenario in which he can pull this out.
14,605,000. But no, my number 2, and surprising to some because I've never played any game in this series, is Metroid Prime 4. I've never played any Metroid game in the Prime series or the old ones.
It's all right. It's all right.
Hi, fans. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm not sorry.
Yeah, my mother's like, disgusting. She's like,
slams her computer.
You did not play Metroid Fusion?
You know what? But Danny's
on
not unlike probably many Switch owners who are like, oh, Nintendo's kind of cool. I haven't played since GameCube.
Exactly. No, you know what? This representation is very good, Danny. And we're proud,
Yeah,
we're proud of your
I do what I can.
How can you say something so true and yet so brave?
I'm falling on the sword for you guys.
Thank you.
But the reasoning being, like, obviously I was so wrong about Breath of the Wild, having never played a Zelda before, and I played it, and I'm just madly in love with it. Probably one of my favorite games of all time. I've seen a couple like clips of some of the older Metroid Prime games, and the more I'm thinking about it and just thinking of what they could do on a next generation, I'm like, this can be the game I proved wrong on Metroid as like a series that I just never felt the need to dip my toes in. This could be that game that I just get awashed with. Bro.
If the trilogy like revamp, deluxe or whatever comes out, would you pick it up?
Yeah, probably. I'm in this mindset now of like a lot of these series that I've missed from or even like the iterations of the consoles I did have of N64 and GameCube. I really just stuck to my select few games I loved. So yeah, if they came out with the Metroid Prime series remastered, for the Switch, probably. Same thing, with the Zelda series, everything from Ocarina of Time onwards, like remastered. Absolutely.
But anything before then, trash. Never speak of it again. If it's 2D, it's no good to me.
Scrollers,
They're all side scrollers. That's what they were. In the case of Metroid, totally agree. Now there was trilogy compilation on the Wii, and they put it on the Wii U as part of the Wii Virtual Console. I'd love it if that came out. I want that remaster of Metroid Prime Hunters, baby. The best in the whole series of the DS game. It was hot trash. But in any event, that was gonna be mine also. Danny, I adore the series. I adore
Gris.
We all adore it.
We all adore it here on ANP, and so I would love it if that were a thing. But I really do hope it comes out this year, and that was going to be my number 2. But because it was taken, I want to say something briefly. I love No More Heroes, and Travis Strikes Again looks so bad. I really want it to be great, and I love the characters. I love.
Is it a true sequel though, or
it doesn't matter what it is.
It's a spiritual successor, Matt.
It's trash. I played it at PAX, and there was a demo breaking glitch, and could not finish the demo. But it's just hack and slash 2-player, kind of like a beat 'em up. Like you're playing Streets of Rage, you're playing X-Men arcade games, some arcade games. You have fond memories of those games for sure. But in retrospect, if you can play it all, especially without having to dump more quarters in, the tension goes away, and you're just a slog. That's how this felt. And each little micro game is made by or inspired by a different developer, like a different indie developer, which is really quite neat. But I'm hoping to be proven wrong, and that it's at least good. But really, we're talking about Luigis Mansion looking not great. This game looks especially not great. No More Heroes looked kind of iffy, but this is looks like that Wii game again. That somewhat iffy Wii game. In any event, that's my number 1 most anticipated game. Okay, Matt, hit us with your number 1.
It's Animal Crossing,
wow.
Of course. Wow. Now, okay, let's talk about this, right? It has been a very long time since the last Animal Crossing, the last major Animal Crossing game, which was 2013. That was the highest selling Animal Crossing game, not by much, but just enough. Sold around 11.78 million, as opposed to the 11.75 million of City Folk.
Small feat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, not City Folk, of Wild World, which came out on the DS, which makes sense because the DS was everyone had that. So obviously not a lot of people got on board for Wii, despite how many Wiis were out there. Only 4 million copies of City Folk sold, and that of course came with the
We Speak, baby.
We Speak,
which is what this podcast is recorded on each and every week.
Oh, I can go pull mine out right now.
You don't need to pull it. You don't need to pull out your We Speak again on air. we keep getting the takedown strikes for please have Matt put away his We Speak on the air.
One more away before we're banned by YouTube.
I'm a huge Animal Crossing fan. It's probably what I poured. It's my little crown on my on my 3DS play log is Animal Crossing City Folk. So actually, did you all see that recent story of that grandma? Little grandmother who put like 38,000 hours or something like that into the game. That
inspired me to put Animal Crossing at number 4.
she played for every day for the last 5 years. She's played that game. That's a good blame her. It's amazing.
Using her twilight years to live in this virtual animal
crush all the noobs.
I love it.
There's a lot to look forward to. I think it's a summer game. It's previously released in the summer. Plus, the game operates on a real calendar year, and I don't really think anyone wants to start off the game like a Christmas and New Year's, like Thanksgiving. I feel like that's like
a lot of pressure
you build up to that.
Yeah, but wouldn't you say you want to play that in like the colder months, like when you're just indoors anyways? I feel like it's a good time eater.
You absolutely do, but I think all the Animal Crossing fans out there are like they want Christmas to be a nice time in their town when their town's ready for it. Set up.
Right, like imagine getting it on Christmas Day and like not having time to open it or like set up your get your house or what have you, and just like you miss all the Christmas festivities. And now with everything being connected to online, like is there going to be an easy way to time travel forward like all the time and exploit it? So you get like that measly 1,000 bells every year, and you're like, this is what I'm going to do. 40 times to pay off.
Let me just say this,
you put it in airplane mode, yeah.
I could say a lot about this game, and I can't wait for future podcasts to do that. But my most anticipated or asked for feature from Matt's list of wants from Animal Crossing Switch I want there to be some sort of connection between friends, right? I want us to all be on in a community or a county, that'd be kind of cool. And basically enabling access to both of you to enter my town at any time. And I don't know what that looks like, but ideally, I'm away. Maybe Austin can help pull my weeds, or Danny can.
Just be my greatest privilege to do that for you. I thought you'd never ask.
Or he'll turn you down in the video game like he would in real life too. Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna get something. I'd love to, but here's the deal. Instead, I'm gonna go and plant tons of pitfall traps around your home.
Yeah, even that. I want the online component to be that much more robust because, really, again, the Nintendo Online, whatever we're calling it, right, still needs its big game, and I really think Animal Crossing is going to be that big game.
Wow, that's a big prediction. Okay, well,
bigger
very good
than
one.
Smash. Wow. Okay.
That's what the prophecy foretold. I mean, he's just bigger than Smash ANP. That's what it says on the back of the Animal Crossing box. This could be it. Okay, a grandma played hundreds of thousands of hours of this. Okay.
Suck at you melee players, yeah.
Yeah,
they might just actually
turn
serious. Animal Crossing into Smash, where Link moves into town, and then maybe Samus and
with his Link house from Breath of the Wild.
Well, think about this: if we consider the multiverse, Animal Crossing characters came into Mario Kart. So when they opened the portal, so too will Mario Kart 8 Deluxe characters go into the Animal Crossing world. The portal, of course, works both ways. Matter cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be a transfer. And as such, you get an Isabelle and Cart, you get yourself a Breath of the Wild Link DLC character in Animal Crossing. That's just the way. It's just science, people. That's why we're here.
Yeah, I like it.
And then they reappear in Game Freak's town, the other city.
Here's another twist. It's Pocket Card Jockey 3DS by Gamer. Okay, this is your home now. You got some weeds to pull. Get at it.
I was supposed to meet a raccoon here. Have you seen a raccoon?
He seems like a very generous guy.
I see what you did. The other raccoon. Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about Danny's number one pick. What is it?
Gris.
Pokemon Gen 8. I was not super sad that I missed Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Even that I can still get it, I'm still just meh. It looks good, but it's just the fact that it's pretty much the same game that everyone beat, when we were in the 90s. I was just that's fine. But I'm excited for them. Plus that, and I feel that was just Nintendo's experiment of being we need to prove to ourselves we can make this for something that's essentially a home console. Because I heard them talking about in the development of Let's Go that it was just super difficult for them, having only made them for things like the 3DS and backwards. So I think the Let's Go games were like the test trial. So for the most part, it hasn't like sold like gangbusters, but it's still done well. I'm excited to see what with like another year's worth of development they do with the full-fledged next core RPG Pokemon game. So I'm super pumped for that.
Got it. Yeah, I think that's good. And I would agree, and I've really enjoyed Let's Go, and I do recommend it even if you're on the fence. It's been really, calming, and it's been I've enjoyed a lot of Pokemon Go. I've talked about it before. But I think the catch mechanic is actually very fun in this game. The non-random encounters is great. It looks good. And I love just dressing up that Pikachu. I give him a fedora. I give me a fedora IRL. I look at him. I wink. I go into work with my Pikachu proudly in hand. Okay, then my final game, I'm going to put at the top Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I'm super excited for that. I adored the games, especially on 3DS, the 3 of them. And it's just a series I just love. Just like kind of min-maxing the characters and I just love grinding that game. I love in the previous games advancing the relationships and the classes.
Making them fall in love.
Making them fall in love, me right there with them, kind of coaxing them together as like a watchful kind of fairy godmother-ish character, but also just but I'm also just like there, in the room for like dates and what have you. You're there, setting them up. You're excited to have them. You can touch them. In any event, that was a feature. Okay, so in the event of that, I'm looking forward to touching Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I just think it's going to be. I know it's going to have some little twists in terms of the views and the overworld, possibly, and your ability to explore a map. Which in Fire Emblem Shadows of Valencia on the 3DS, I really enjoyed the short third-person segments where you would go and explore like a dungeon. And I thought that was like actually very well done and fun. And this has the same thing because you feel a greater connection to just like in the same way where it's fun to play as a Fire Emblem character in Smash because you're like, you never really have direct control of say Marth, right? He's always a chess piece on a board. But then you're like, oh, I'm actually kind of having a moment to experience a day in the life of Marth, beating up a Pikachu and a Kirby and what have you. But it would be fun to explore as that character and kind of live more so with that character. I think it's great. I adore the series. It's definitely my number one pick. Okay, friends, should we call it there? Should we call it here at the end of the episode?
No. We need one last thing. Come on.
Okay, one last thing. Let's do one.
Predictions.
It's called Big N in the News. Hit him out. Okay, the final thing, rapid fire. What's one prediction for 2019 from each person? So let's go through it. We're going to start with you, Matt. Now.
Okay, here we go. I'm predicting that we will get SNES titles on a release for, or an announcement, and then hopefully a release probably around the same time Nintendo Online went live. But I think that Nintendo's gonna come clean. You're gonna be like, hey, yep, you got us. This was our new virtual console. You're basically subscribing to it. Here's the next wave of consoles. Because
it's 3 games, it's Super Mario World, it's Link to the Past 2 Metroid. Enjoy it. You've never played these games before.
You all own it on your SNES Classics, but here it is anyways. Oh, look, we dropped Star Fox 2.
Right. Wow, we love it. Running at 12 frames per minute. Star Fox 2 brings your friends from the Lilith system. Okay, Danny, big old prediction. Let's hear it.
I'm thinking... not that it's going to launch in 2019, but I'm thinking an announcement for 2020, new hardware. I don't think it's going to be a full-on Switch 2.0. I think it's going to be Switch S, kind of like the iPhone series.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do something just like slightly better screen, slightly better battery. We've been through this, I think, ad hominem. Third-party people are already even making like bigger Joy-Cons that feel more comfy, but also still portable. I'm waiting for Nintendo to do like first party, like we've revamped the Joy-Con. We've heard you all with normal to large size hands being like,
okay, well, some of us have beautiful, perfect hands. I'm sure they're petite, but this is how I gauge every morning when I'm like, do I need to work out today? Then I do this, and I go, I'm good. And then I look in the mirror for the rest of the body, and I'm like, it's time to jog.
Did Nintendo pay him to check that out? Yes, maybe, but...
I like also that modulation, Danny, of like the different or kind of modification, modular design
Gris.
Party people bring to the Switch Joy-Con. It reminds me very much of the aforementioned in this podcast Game Boy for real retro fans. But like the Game Boy had all these like great like these things deep cut. Only real fans of Nintendo will know the Nintendo Game Boy. But like when the snap-on accessories where it's like now your buttons are very large, or it's like here's a big magnifying glass on your screen. You heard of a worm light? Only real fans will know worm light. Okay, that's a very good one. New hardware is the guess from Danny. I'm gonna say I think we're gonna get a Breath of the Wild 2 announcement. But the too wild for you. But this time
too wild.
Too Breath Too Wild. This time wild is with a Y. We all knew it was coming. A natural evolution of the series. It's in the lore. Look up the last game. A lot of hints that wild will be started spelled with a Y. But I think that, and you know what I think would be a great idea? Let's come back for our next episode. Let's do a predictions podcast. I really enjoy Kotaku Split Screen, friends of the pod, JK. I think of them as a friend. But they do prediction podcast, and then the end of the year they go around and when whoever wins, the losers have to play a game of the choosing of the person who won. So,
oh boy!
But in any event, that might be a fun activity for the future. But I think this brings us to the end of our episode. Matt, Danny, thank you for joining me and the listener here on another Nintendo podcast. We look forward to coming back to you next week. And until then,
great seeing the three of you.
Great seeing all of us out here. Until then, be well.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.